You're thinking nice and long about it. The Hanzo ban was, of course, an immediate snap ban by them, by All for Waifu. And they're hovering the Genji ban. It's not really going to want to mess with uh, that robot too much here, and Genji indeed banned out. Okay, we're going to wait for the first pick here for All for Waifu on Volskaya Foundry. A lot of teams have been seeing this map very similar to, not similar to Hanamura, but kind of same in the way that it's more of a push map than an objective map, and a lot of teams have been focusing on making sure they can push outside of having the objective. The objective is very good at some things, but a lot of people there's even disagreement as to when you use the objective, how you use it, and we're going to go ahead and grab the first pick, Lucio, very meta at the moment, easily the top support. And we're going to see what they respond to here. Lucio, if Wasted Potential stays meta, they're going to go for ETC, they're going to go for Greymane, they're going to go for, pretty much those two. If they want a different tank, they could take it up now, but we're going to see what kind of plan Wasted Potential has. This is their map pick, so they're going to go ahead and grab the ETC, very strong tank at the moment, and ETC Greymane, there it is. So, super meta right here, and now is where we start to see All for Waifu's plan come through. ETC Greymane, very generic picks taken off the board. I could see them picking up their tank here, grabbing a Diablo, grabbing a Murden. Just grabbing your support tank in the first round makes the rest of your draft very flexible, so we're going to see how they operate here. And hopefully people will let me know if there indeed is any more lag. I had some serious issues with lag. I believe it was some really, Windows game mode was trolling me somehow, and I fixed it. So hopefully we are back on track with that, and we're going to see what All for Waifu does here in the second round. And I bring it right down to the wire. This is usually the hardest pick because you have to not only calculate your picks, but the bans and your enemy picks as well here. So Tyrael Diablo immediately going for the double tank. Tyrael, excellent off-tank double, especially when paired with the Diablo. And they make sure to go for the Devil Tyrael to make sure that it matches the Diablo skin here. So here we go. Look at the ban out here. And they're going to have to... I mean, they've already grabbed the healer and the two tanks, so they're going to want to ban out the whatever DPS or whatever, seizure or damage shield that's going to interfere with their plan. So Wasted Potential looking at what they want to get rid of here and what they want to take, because of course being the second pick you always get to have first dibs over whatever your opponent doesn't ban. So Vala getting banned out here. Very strong pick. Lucio is a strong support, and with a frontline like a Tyrael, Diablo, Vala stays very safe and is going to be able to really focus down targets without too much issue. So much peel on the side of Tyrael and Diablo that makes Vala very safe, and so banning her out I think is a very good choice here. And we're looking for the ban from All for Waifu. Now they could go for some kind of support ban. I don't know that that's necessarily gonna benefit them. To choke that out, but we're gonna see. And I don't know what I'd ban here. I think, okay, they are gonna go from indeed the support ban. They're gonna ban the Uther out, which means that they're gonna probably be doubling down on whatever doubling down on whatever like single target blow up. You could see maybe even a Kael'thasad coming out here from the side of All for Waifu. You could see a Jaina Diablo, APOC Ring, always a very potent combination. But wasted potential, gonna have to. They've still got to pick up a support, and at this point, unless you want to threaten double support, I think you can always save your support pick to the last pick. I don't think with the Tyrael Diablo that All for Waifu is going to be grabbing their support. So really, they have a lot of flexibility here what they can do with these two picks and decide. Really gives themselves luxury in what they want to hide and any higher priority DPS that they want to snap up here and take away from All for Waifu. And indeed, there's the Li Ming, and then there's the support, saving that last pick to be flexible. It's going to be a frontliner, hopefully. Triple range can be, with Tyrael Diablo, is probably bad news. So the banned skin being changed to the correct skin. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And they're going to grab their supporters. Rhaegar, Greymane I always really like. And Li Ming is always a very good pickup here for damage. Very, very generic composition coming out from Waste Potential. I'm looking for something spicy from them from that last pick. Really just saying, oh, we're going to have standard death, then boom, last pick, Lost Vikings. Or something. I don't know. I don't know what. All for Waifu coming down to their last 10 seconds. And we got the Kael'thas and the Tychus. Excellent duo right there. Tychus I'm seeing a lot more play of. And I'm very interested to see if Tychus here goes, what he goes at his level 4 talent. Because that seems to define how Tychus is being used. Odin, probably definitely a pickup here. Very, very good on a map where you want to push a lot. It's very good for both sieging and anti-siege. But yeah, it's a good pick. And Kael'thas always good. They're not in desperate need of wave clear, but they absolutely need wave clear to keep up with the Rhaegar and the Greymane. Even though Li Ming doesn't have the best wave clear, she still is pretty. The Greymane and the Rhaegar do pretty well for themselves. And I do see a lot of solo play on this map, and it looks like the solo laner will probably be Tyrael, so you need to have somebody that can deal with those shields. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Blaze here. Blaze is now allowed here in NGS. That'd be a really cool pickup here. Definitely spicy, in the literal sense of the term. But no, it's going to be the Alarak, also very spicy. Okay. So, I believe that leaves Greymane to be the solo laner. It's going to be the... and then we're going to see what. And here goes my green screen. So first mishap here in the background, but it doesn't matter because we're going right into the thing and the camera's not on me anymore. So here we go into the match here. And now it's really going to come down to the kill potential of Li Ming and Alarak for wasted potential. They've got so much... they're so deadly if anybody is caught out of position. Alarak pull into a Li Ming combo is going to absolutely delete anybody, especially with a Greymane there to follow up onto it. So, that said, there aren't too many targets on the side of All for Waifu that are insanely, like, squishy. Lucio definitely. So if they can get onto a Lucio, if Lucio skates into the wrong place, it's going to be bad for them. But these teams both have their work cut out for them. So really looking for Diablo and Tyrael to kind of like pry the team apart, let Tychus get his work done with his minigun, and keep Kael'thas safe while he, he throws his Alamalores and stuff out. Okay, we're going to have here on the side of Wasted Potential, we're going to have Nathan on the Li Ming, Zalib 687 on the ETC, Hope on the Greymane, Boone on the Alarak, and Rhaegar, played by Geo. And over here we've got Kraus on the Diablo, Speedcuber on the Kael'thas, Nerve on the Tyrael, Maflin on the Lucio, and Doyle on the Tychus. And a lot of Spanish going on in the chat, and I can totally understand it. That's not a lie. And okay, we're gonna have Force Armor from Li Ming, Prog Rock, Q build. Alaric, I see this Ruthless Momentum a lot lately. Alaric has a surprising amount of diversity at his level 1 talent. Oh, big stun and Li Ming orb onto the Titan. He has to back off. Diablo charges in for the peel, and the Li Ming gets bursted down, and she's got to teleport away very fast. Doyle here destroying that Earthbound totem. Oh, Tychus steps up too far, gets slid on by the ETC, catches an Alarak Q, but he's going to be just fine, and that's what I'm saying. You can kill people like Tychus, but they're a little beefier than your average assassin. So Tychus down here going up against the Alarak gets pulled in and silenced again. He just doesn't really care. He's got a Lucio and he's got a Tyrael right next to him. And up top, I don't think we're going to really see a soul lane. Kael'thas overestimates the power of his Windian Wave, and he goes down. And did he wait until he died to pick Convection? Because it was definitely a question mark before I started looking at the map. So Kael'thas Convection, not a great start, but to be fair, he didn't lose any stacks there. Devil's Due by Rhaegar, by the Diablo, the Accelerando from the Lucio, and Combat Tactician. So looking to just really get in there and basic attack and then get the F out. So very interesting rotation. We're sort of trading solo lanes up here. Kael'thas wants to stay around as many people as he can if he wants to stack Convention. Greymane early can't pick up here at 144. Gonna get that camp going up there. And in the meantime, we've got this 4-man clearing this wave. Kael'thas doing plenty of wave clear in the middle here. Alarak down here all alone. Diablo up here all alone, has to deal with this camp. And Tychus spreads out, and we're looking at basically even XP here on the side of both teams. So very interesting from both teams. Slide goes on to Lucio. Doesn't quite connect. Lucio sort of skates away, and everyone's going to be just fine. And given the aggression of the beginning of this match, and surprisingly quiet rotations from both teams here, both teams seeing the respective ganks and pressures and reacting calmly, and we're going to check in on Kael'thas Convection, still at 0. And with an Alarak, you know, I wonder if the Convection is really the best choice. So we have Waste Potential setting up onto the point here as the two people in the bottom sort of continue soaking it out. Alarak maybe makes his way up here. No, he's not going to be fine. And Waste Potential backs off, and All for Waifu comes in the point. And this is going to be All for Waifu's point that Waste Potentials is going to have to contest. So we've got the ETC on here trying to contest it. And they're not really willing to get off the point long enough. And they're going sort of back and forth, but Waste Potential slowly but surely getting on that point. Big slide goes on to Diablo. Diablo's getting chunked out, but Alarak in the meanwhile is getting bursted down. The ETC, the slide into the rest of the team, does not work out, and Alarak takes, without a tank anymore, Alarak takes the brunt of All for Waifu's damage, and that is a win for All for Waifu, going 2-0 and taking the point back and getting those percentage points going once again. Alright, Waste Potential just sort of deciding to clear mid. Excuse me, and All for Waifu up top. Kael'thas soaking that XP. Giving him a good half a lead. Along with those kills over Waste Potential at the moment. They're going to get the 7 first, and they're going to have 7 to sort of get on this train. Let's look at their talents here. One whole stack of Convection for Kael'thas. Tyrael holding his level 7 for now. Diabolical Momentum. Surprisingly, no Spell Shield going into a Li Ming Alarak combo. We've got Party Mix for Lucio, very standard. Quarterback from... And here's the 4 talent I was talking about. They are going for fully loaded, and that's just a straight minigun cooldown reduction. So really not looking for anything special off the minigun, sort of standard Tychus, not going for a bigger they are combination. So really just Damage, huge Flame Strike goes on into 2, and Diablo jumps in the backline, gets right in the Greymane, and the ETC stuck in no man's land. So the rest of Waifu goes after him, but Tyrael and Diablo stay out in front too long, and Waste Potential is able to answer back, but meanwhile Diablo shoves Li Ming against the wall and takes her out, and it's despite it going, not despite, 2-1 in favor of all for Waifu. Everyone's looking pretty hurt, but they grab the Protector. They're going to put one person into it, and Tychus is going to siege onto these forts. Looking at the level 7 talent, see how it comes, of course. Applied Force, Cast Range, pretty standard rest of the build for Alaric. Hammer on here for ETC, an interesting choice. I don't often see this, and Calamity, of course, coming out for Li Ming. So Tychus is just going to kind of walk this in circles, maybe waiting for the wave. Oh, he's going to have Diablo step in to the gunner position, maybe do a little bit more damage with the Protector here. The rest of the team not really pushing with the Protector, and you've got 2 top here, Lucio, Kael'thas, and they're bringing this wall down fairly quick. Like, they've got half of it down already. Down at the bottom, you've got Nerve here on Tyrael versus this Alaric. Big pull into Tyrael. Tyrael does not care at all. And meanwhile, the Protector just alone and board, and it's got 9 seconds. It's not going to get a whole lot done. It's probably going to get this front wall, and Waste Potential goes up here to clear this wave, push Kael'thas and Lucio back, and they're going to go down and try and maybe get a kill onto these 2 heroes stuck. Big slide on Diablo. Diablo's going to queue out and be just fine. Tychus escapes away, and that's going to be it for that phase of the game. Alaric down here. A rotation, make sure he's safe. The 4-man coming down here. I'm not sure if they're going to push with this onto Alaric. No. They're posturing up. Alaric backs off because he realizes it's most of their team down here. Kael'thas up here all alone, stuck in the soul lane, stuck doing convention. He's got 6 whole stacks already. Wowie wow. But the 10 coming out here very quick. 10 and goodbye. Stacks there, and an amazing pickoff here for Waste Potential. That's absolutely something needed. Not only is it a pickoff down 9 to 10, down heroics, but it's on the Kael'thas who is going convection. So let's check out the 10s for the side of All for Waifu. Sanctification coming out for Tyrael, Phoenix, APOC, Soundbearer, and the Laser Drill. I'm very, very surprised not to see an Odin come out for Tychus, but they were really looking for that point control laser build coming out into the point, fighting over the support camp, a whole ton of damage going on to ETC. And sometimes they say, thank you for the follow. Sometimes they say, hey, don't focus the tank. But there you do. You absolutely want to, that ETC taking a whole bunch of laser damage, slammed up into a wall by Diablo, and he goes down super fast. Despite that kill, though, Waste Potential picks up their 10s. We're going to see the Wave of Force meaning Mosh Pit, Curse Bullet, Counter Strike, and Ancestral Healing. So no big surprises here in terms of heroic cooldowns. And all for Waifu maintaining a very good lead, managing to get a counter pick there, and maintaining their level lead in going into this next phase. This is an awful long time before the next control point comes up here on this map, but the support camp belonging to All for Waifu is going to give them a big advantage. A 5-man rotate up here, hoping to catch somebody off guard. Tychus looking, face checks his bush, face melt comes out, nothing really happening there. Zayla backs off. Meanwhile, Tyrael down here, hey, the whole team's up there, I'm just going to push. I'm going to keep using my shields to make sure that these archers keep firing onto this tower, and that's a pretty powerful push there coming out for Tyrael. Oh, a big slam goes on to Rhaegar, but not a whole lot of damage. A huge 4-man mosh pit. Greymane goes bananas in the back, kills Kael'thas, kills Diablo. Lucio's just barely skates away, and what an engage there by ETC. An amazing follow-up from the rest of his team. They very much disrespecting and maybe trying to keep them busy too much in order to let Tyrael push. So maybe that's a whole bunch of kills for that fort. But I don't know that they're going to get a whole lot of damage out of this fort. I mean, Greymane comes down here. Nathan has left the game. I'm going to do a pause here. All right. So, pause here. I'm trying to see if. Okay, yeah. We're gonna get back into the game here. And there we go. And Cremane fighting against this Tyrael just barely makes it out. I apologize for the pause there. It looked like we had a disconnect. It looked like everything was okay. And meanwhile, Cremane backs away. A big pull onto Diablo here. Diablo backs off. He takes a huge chunk of damage there. I believe. I'm not sure what that was from. Li Ming spell damage, of course. So Diablo up there. And now all 5 members of Waste Potential are now up here, all for Waifu as well. And they've got the point. They're on it. Waste Potential managed to get 22% on the point, but the percentage points are ticking up here for all for Waifu. Greymane down here trying to get 13 for the rest of his team. Greymane does indeed get 13, and it looks like here Waste Potential is going to make their attack. Let's see how they do it here. They've got the support camp thanks to that huge team fight win over here. Big stun from Kael'thas combo goes down in the ETC. He's chunked out for about 25% of his health. And they're just looking to sort of stand here and contest this point. The drill goes down. ETC bursts it down, but Tychus bursts down ETC. Huge amount of damage. ETC spreads the bomb while dying, and the rest of the Tychus damage goes on to Rhaegar. The speed barrier, the sound barrier even, ensures that they can follow up on the rest of that kill. And that's a 3 for 0 coming out from All for Waifu. And the voice lied, saying that the blue team took control of the Protector, because that is not true at all. But the Protector are going to go over to All for Waifu as they push in onto the thing. And this fort is going to go ahead and go down here. The rest of Waste Potential backing off, but they're looking for a huge thing as they find one onto Tyrael. Pull, a Greymane jump, and an ETC slide face mount onto the Tyrael, isolates him, and Tyrael goes down. And that's a really good pick there. That's definitely something that they need down here, 13 to 15, with the Protector pushing on to the fort here. They only get one fort. But another pull goes on to Kael'thas, and there's the face melt Greymane combo, and Kael'thas goes down along with his convection stacks. And we're going to go ahead and look at the 13s here for both teams. Pyromaniac, of course. I don't think there's really any surprises coming out here for either team. Protector's gone, and they're going to try and siege onto here, but the pull over the wall, the Ancestral comes out. Maybe didn't need it for the ETC, but it's always good to have there just in case somebody gets off a huge damage. Kael'thas is still dead at the moment. Tychus going, that's the stuff, looking for that real... Tychus going for the extra sustain here. I think that's what the laser pick was all about, is really looking for mega sustain onto these points. But face melt coming out from ETC. Usually see mic check here at that point. You want that big engage range from Greymane and Rite of Rack share tidal waves, and we're going to check out Alarak here. He's at 96% sadism here, so he doesn't have any Rite of Rack share percentage points yet, but he's got 6% from takedowns as well. So Alec, not super deadly at the moment, but definitely able to make things wrong over here. And here's the invade, and there's the mosh pit immediately canceled. APOC comes out along with the sanctification, and Waste Potential has to back off very quickly. Everyone's going to disengage here. It looks like safely. They're going to get a successful steal of that turret on this side of Waste Potential. An excellent job there from both teams. And they're going to go ahead and grab... Ooh, a big pull goes on the Tychus. The slide connects, and there goes Tychus. So Waste Potential doing an excellent job making plays off of those Alarak pulls. Well, All for Waifu maybe not respecting the Alarak range as much as they should. So you've got 4 members down here. Kael'thas stuck up here, clearing this top camp, heading to offlane. He's got 2 beautiful stacks of Convection at the moment, and they're going to go ahead and just kill this wall for vision here and back out and try to maybe play the rest of the map. It looks like they... I thought they were going to send people up top, but no, they're going to posture up here, maybe try to get onto this fort with a few minions poking at it. Tyrael comes out with the Holy Ground, now at level 13 instead of normally. And Greymane, with that cocktail, just completes his cocktail quest. So those splashes are going to hurt a lot more now that he's completed it. So really just sort of teams looking for some kind of somebody to step out, somebody to get out of position so they can make a play. Nothing really happens. They're going to clear top here, and All for Waifu is going to go down here and get in position for this altar. And I see a ping here into this bush, and looks like they're going to try and bush gank into this side bush here. That'd be very scary. Oh, Greymane looks like he might be the first one through. No. Li Ming checks it out, finds them indeed, and there's a Q goes on to Li Ming, but she's going to be fine. ETC, meanwhile, slides in, takes a huge chunk of damage. APOC in a bad place. They all have to back away. The sound barrier comes out and heals everybody up, but Lucio and Diablo were not able to make it through. ETC goes down, stuck in the rest of his team, but that's going to be a 2-for-1, and they're going to capitalize on that with 2 more kills, and that's going to be a full team wipe. Tyrael trait not going to get any value here. Laser on the wrong targets at the moment. Li Ming has to back for mana, but that is going to be a full team wipe for just 1 death. ETC nobly sacrificing himself, and they're going to go ahead and clear that wave and get onto that point ASAP. The turret has been left here. I'm wondering if anyone's going to go bother to go back and pick it up. Greymane is going to go... Yes, he's going to go start it, and I think they may try and Li Ming Greymane this camp here in the meantime. So Diablo just back up now 15 seconds before all the members of All for Waifu are back. And that's an excellent engage there from Waste Potential. Li Ming maybe a little close to that bush when checking, but they understand that that bush gank could be there, and that bush gank does not go in favor of All for Waifu. So everybody back from All for Waifu, they're going to come up here. We got a little sprays down here just for the viewers, and they're going to come up here and start this support camp. And they're going to say, okay, you're going to start the support camp. We're just going to take this fort. They have to leave Alarak on the point, but they're going to get plenty of siege onto this. And they get the Protector no problem. So they go for the invade of the camp here. And they're going to, while Waste Potential is pushing on the fort, they're going to go ahead and try for this keep wall, which really is a fair exchange. That fort for the keep wall. But in the meantime, Waste Potential has got that Triglav Protector. And that Triglav Protector can do a lot of push onto the keep. So it looks like Waste Potential may try and force a trade out here. And they're going to send 3 members back. Along with, and keep, 4 members back and just keep 1 in the Triglav. And Triglav, not that hard to do with 1 person. They put the laser down to try and get the siege into this keep. The keep down to half health. I don't know if Waste Potential can stop them from getting this keep. The Li Ming damage is coming up, but it's not going to be quite enough as the minions get in the way of all of her spells. The Kael'thas damage keeping people at bay, and that keep goes down. Here comes the Mosh. It's interrupted. It only goes in a 10-second tooltime. APOC comes out and it whiffs. Sound Barrier comes in for an engage. They're looking to go on this ETC. ETC backs up. He's got the bomb. He goes down. And the Death Metal catches too, but they're not able to follow up on it at all, and it just prevents... Oh, beautiful Ancestral comes out, stops Greymane from dying, and meanwhile, Triglav Protector is going to go ahead and probably take this keep. It's only at 50% health, and 27 full seconds left on this thing, so it's going to get this keep no problem. They're going to trade out 1 death, but they're going to have 20. They're going to have even structure, well, not even structures, but they're going to have both have 1 keep down. And for a very short while, Waste Potential is going to have the 20 advantage. But in the meantime, Tychus ripping this Protector apart. And so Alarak is going to be in a world of trouble if he's caught out here. He go ahead and gets out. Sorry, doesn't get out. He is forced out by the time going out. But enough people are there that they don't want to try to go for the kill onto Alarak, and they're just going to go ahead and clear up the rest of the map while both teams figure out how they want to win the rest of this game. The bottom protector, the next protector is going to be in the middle, so it's going to be a little tougher to walk from point A here all the way down to this bottom lane. So they go ahead and grab this top camp. No camp on the meanwhile for Waste Potential. That level 20 advantage is now gone. It was a very tight window. It was very difficult to for them to make anything happen. So they're going to go down here. They're going to start maybe looking at an ambush here onto this point. They know that this is really the only thing on the map for Waifu to check out. Firo face checks this bush. Here comes the slide in the Tiro. Can they do it? But no, a quick Q and an APOC coming out from Diablo. Flip on Alec. Gets the silence onto just one. The Unstoppable comes out, preventing the Chaos damage. The ETC Moshpit comes out, and it doesn't stay connected, but the Death Metal is going to go on to two people. ETC will die for that, but the damage onto Lucio is so much, and this Diablo is going to trade out for the Li Ming. Meanwhile, Rhaegar is taking way too much damage, but the deadly charge hits two, chunks people completely out. Rhaegar dies, but Alrek is wrecking face in the background. Greymane uses this to jump in. Tyrael trait plus Tychus might equal a dead Greymane, but no, it's going to be a 3-for-3, and what a fight, ladies and gentlemen. That was incredible by both teams. Both teams tying out, and this game continues on. This is going to be a slight advantage for All for Waifu, as they've got a camp and catapults on their core already. This, of course, they have their own keep advantage on the side of Wasted Potential, but the catapults are not the core just yet. So, Wasted Potential now clearing this out. They've got a camp that they can push with, and I imagine the support camp is going to be fought over before this point comes active. There's another turret still on the map, but in the meantime, All for Waifu has to make sure that this lane is pushed out if they're able to do if they want to be able to do anything else on the map. It's going to be 15 seconds before both teams are at full health, but both teams, not really any staggered deaths, both teams coming back at the same time, so it's going to be another even fight. And indeed, All for Waifu is going to go to start and burst this down, realizing that the rest of Wasted Potential had a lot more to clear in their top lane, so they're just going to quick grab the support, and that's going to give them a huge advantage in this next phase. They grab the turret over here, and they realize, and that looked like an item bug. They just got did they just get a turret and a thing? Anyways, Alec maybe fires up his deadly charge, decides to cancel it. It's going to be fine. That support camp may be bugged and might be worth more than you'd expect. So a turret and a med kit on the side of a support. What's it called? A support kit? I don't know. Healing pulse. That's it. On the side of All for Waifu. But the point comes up and Waste Potential gets on point, and they're going to start it off. Tyrael wholly grounding this bush here, just kind of making sure that what's going on. Alarak stays on the point. Diablo looking for a charge, seeing if he can get Alarak against the wall. He's not getting the angle that he wants here, and he's not sure he can go in quite yet. Sword comes out. That could be a real danger of holy ground separating the team, but no, they're going to go ahead and move around it. ETC steps up. Deadly charge coming out just in case anybody wants to make a move. Kael'thas here looking for the big flank. Mosh Pit comes out and it is immediately canceled. Goes on a 10-second cooldown. APOC comes out, hits Alec, but he uses this Unstoppable. The sound barrier comes out to confirm that kill on ETC. The Ancestral is late, but the Death Mosh is perfect. It gets onto 4 members and they rip apart All for Waifu, not respecting the Death Mosh, but Greymane looking for the Tychus kill to wipe them, doesn't respect the laser and the Tychus damage, and he goes down here, but the pull, nobody respecting anybody right now, and everybody is dead, and it looks like Waste Potential is going to keep one person on the point just in case, and they're going to send Li Ming and Greymane to help clear these minions and poke at the point and hopefully get the... they decide to leave the Protector just going. In fact, Alaric is going to come here. Hopefully he's not too late to make this game finish, but no, they've got a turret, they've got deadly charge, they've got catapults on here, they've got Li Ming, plenty of damage, and this is going to be GG. Well played, excellent final fight there from Waste Potential. Well done for everybody. And Waste Potential goes up 1-0 in the series. So, that's a really very good first game here. And yes, I did indeed get my green screen back up and working. And the next map Looks like it's going to be Towers of Doom. So that indeed was Wasted Potential's map pick. And we're going to see where they take us. Not where they take us, what kind of ride the composition takes us. We're going to see what All for Waifu has in store for us on this map. So I'm going to go ahead and get everybody back in here. It's very difficult to cast and invite people to the game at the same time. And it was very interesting fight there. Those team fights were very, very close. Really, at the end, it came down to everybody grouping up onto that death mosh, and it's just indeed got an insane amount of value. So really, it came down to who respected the full list of their enemies' abilities. So we're gonna see. I'm gonna pull up the. You should me. Excuse me. By the way, everybody should check out the Nexus Gaming Series website. They've got full rosters on the site now, which is what I am using to make sure everybody is on the correct team. Usually I like to see portrait synergy, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. And we're just having people file into the lobby right now. And we're going to see if Wasted Potential can come away with a win here, or if All for Waifu can pull it together on Towers of Doom and bring themselves to a draw. Yeah, I'm really enjoying my setup. I ordered a stand for the green screen, but all the parts have not arrived yet, so I'm just kind of leaning it up against the wall as it is here. So, and yeah, it's I'm very excited to be doing this now, and I think I haven't had any issues in the chat with dropped frames or stuttering or slideshow, and it looks like everybody's in the lobby. I'm going to make sure I have the map pick correct, and that I'm not trolling myself by saying this is indeed Team Waifu, All for Waifu's pick. Okay, we're going to see, throw out a quick ready check, throw down a mage table, get our soul stones out. Speed cuber. Alright, gladiators are ready. And the Overwatch music swells as we get ready to enter the draft here. We're just waiting for one team to say yes. Okay, contestants are ready. We're going to start the game, and we're going to go. We go into the draft here. Oops. Okay. All right, everybody. I got it ready, and then I got a not ready, and now everybody is actually ready. So. All right, everybody's good. Everybody's fine. It's not going to be a problem. So, okay. First pick is going to be right up. Yeah, it cuts off. That's going to be the first pick right there. For first ban, we're going to see if we get the Hanzo ban here or if we get the Genji ban. And yes, indeed. I did, in fact, do a test draft to make sure that all my angles and make sure my scenes were set up correctly, and I had the AI draft, and they first banned Genji because the AI, even the AI isn't that dumb. So we're going to see if Wasted Potential wants to ban sort of an off pick and grab one of the more contested picks immediately, but nope, they don't want to deal with the Cyborg Ninja from 2060. Genji banned out here. And we're going to see if All for Waifu indeed goes to a... yeah, it's just it's the Super Shimeta brothers here. Banned out. Yeah. That's all I can say about that is the dragons are too powerful for competitive at the moment, and nobody wants to see them in their draft, it seems. So, not even on Towers of Doom, which... I mean, Hans is good on every map, but there's nothing particularly... I mean, he could rip down the boss. Ripping down that boss is actually super valuable. So, okay, we're going to have a first pick out here for Waste Potential. I could see the Lucio again. I have to imagine this is going to be super meta as well. This has been a very meta draft so far. Wasted Potential. Last time, their first 4 picks, very, very generic. And that Alarak definitely, that last team fight, Alarak did a lot of work, getting in the back lane, just wrecking people. Not that last one, but like Alarak did a lot of work last one. So ETC immediately picked up here, gonna get the best tank, and Greymane is not gonna last very long. There's Greymane Lucio. And it's, of course, I think ETC stands for ETC to Greymane and Calucio. So, there's your big 5 right off the bat in that order. Sometimes the order changes, but it's very often it does not. So, we're going to wait here for the next 2. Yeah, it looks like this is a super HGC draft, as people in the chat have been pointing out. And we're going to see what the next 2 picks are going to be from Waste Potential. Are you going to see... they're going to grab their support here? Or are they going to grab their maybe their front line or their... possibly... the solo laner here? They're going to grab the Stukov. Do get the support, and the Chromie. Chromie very annoying on this map for sure, and Stukov also really good in the tight areas that Towers of Doom has near those altars. And the first band coming out here for All for Waifu. Sorry, I had to type there for a second. For some reason, I can't type and talk at the same time very effectively. Anyways, here comes the next pan from All for Waifu. We're going to see what they go with here. Their support, like, I'm not it's really going to give us a lot of information about what they're thinking with their draft. So Vala comes out. They don't want to deal with that kind of sustained damage from Waste Potential, and it looks like they think their team is scary enough that they won't be able to get on the Vala. And the Vala says that they're looking for more of. They're not really going to be a dive team, because if they're worried about the Vala, then they are probably not going to be that aggressive of a team. But in the meanwhile, a Nubarak banned out, making sure that there's not going to be a whole lot of dive onto the Chromie. Because you let... the Vala ban surprises me, because you let Vala through, and Chromie and Vala are immediately, they become liabilities. And you've got a Stukov already, which can definitely stop dive with the silence. It makes things a lot harder. So... but, you know, you throw in a Tyrael, stuff like that, people can split and everything, so... I wouldn't be surprised to see a Tyrael coming out them. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tyrael Diablo coming back out on the side of All for Waifu, especially when they have the Greymane now. So, but no, we've got the Stitches! So yeah, they're going to bring people to them. And not the other way around. We're going to have a Stitches Malthael. They're going to put Malthael in that solo lane. We've got I love the Stitches on here. Stitches is very powerful on this map. A lot of places that hook could come from so many different areas. And now we're going to have the last two picks coming out here for Wasted Potential. I'm thinking about the Malthael pick. They've already got the Lucio, so Malthael is definitely strong there. He's going to be good in the ETC. Stukov can kind of ruin his day if Malthael ults and Stukov gets a silence on him. There goes his Q, and there goes like a whole bunch of what's good about his ult. So that could be a little tough. But these next two picks coming out for Waste Potential, we're going to see how they round out their composition, how they want to deal with the Stitches too, because Stukov, Chromie get hooked and eaten. They are done for. So, and they're going to go for the Kasia Illidan. There we go. So Illidan going to be that bruiser on the side, and Kasia there to shut down the Greymane Malthael. And against the Illidan, now you need somebody with spell power. I could see a Kael'thas for sure here. Kael'thas stun into the Stitch's hook is super potent. You can burst a lot of people down that way. And you're going to need some... they've got really good wave clear actually between Stitches and Malthael. KT will put them way up there in terms of wave clear for sure. So there's a lot of different options that they could go here, but Kasia, Chromie, and Illidan, maybe somebody with CC for the Illidan, which KT, if KT can hit that stun onto the Illidan, that's very good for him. But really just wondering how to deal with this Illidan, make sure he dies. And they're going to go for the Murden. They're going to go for the extra CC. Okay. And they are going for the Murden Stitches, and the attack speed slow from Murden is going to be very effective against Kasia Illidan. The Murden is one less target that Chromie can blow up super easy, although the Murden is still capable of being killed. So here we go, right into the game. And yeah, it's, whenever you have a Stitches comp, it's going to be all about those hooks. But more than the hooks, it's also going to be how they peel onto the Illidan. Illidan's going to jump in, and he's going to get on people. I haven't done Malthael Illidan enough to know how that goes out. If Illidan and Malthael just sort of heal infinitely off of each other, or if one of them eventually gets the edge. But Kasia is going to, with the blinds, is really going to be able to shut down Greymane and Malthael. So they go for the Murden, they go for the survivability and the CC over trying to accentuate their damage with some kind of spell damage. So it's going to be about the hooks and the defense for the side of All for Waifu. And on the side of Wasted Potential, how much of an Illidan god do they have? So
prepare yourself for battle.
We're going to see how Boone does it. Boone going for the Illidan. We've got Gio on the Stukov, Hope on the Kasia, Nathan on the Chromie, and Zalib on the ETC for Wasted Potential. And now for All for Waifu, we've got Doyle on that Stitches, looking for those big hooks. Mafflin on the Lucio, Nerve on the Malthael, Speed Cuber on the Greymane, and Kraus on the Murden. So it looks like both teams, looks like All for Waifu posturing up to go for the 5-man. Illidan's going to start immediately top. With Potential is going to take a hard pass on the big fight in the middle, although they are going to step out. Cash is probably going to throw a Q into the bush, see if anybody's there. Nobody's there quite yet. Just takes that push, throws the hook out, gets a minion, I guess. That minion is going to die for sure. Komi throws out this spell damage. And really, Illidan comes back down actually for the 5-man. Malthael goes up top to go ahead and get that. So Illidan sees he's up top and goes up there to match him. And it's going to just be a 4-man in this middle lane. Nobody going to the bottom lane yet. People trying to get some kill. Big silence goes out. Everybody's slowed. Chromie damage comes out, gets onto Stitches, but Stitches has big enough health pool that he's able to get away. Murden hops away. He's going to be just fine. We're going to take a look at the level 1 talents here. So Greymane goes down. Big hook onto ETC, but it's ETC. Early game, he face melts and he gets out. Chromie going for Q build, for the Q talent rather. Prog Rock for ETC. Illidan going for the immolation, looking to get those camps. And Malthael, via Illidan up here. Malthael definitely seems to be doing a better job clearing this wave. Going for Stukov, and of course charged strikes for Kasha, aka Pirate Leda. Graymane's going to start this camp ASAP. Lucio's going to come over and speed him up some health. Greymane going for the Q build, Slam build for Stitches. Murden going for block, I think very smart against these teams here. Accelerando and Death's Reach here from Malthael. Malthael really looking for that range here. And a huge amount of Chromie damage goes on to this Lucio as he skates away, but Lucio is going to be just fine. And both teams really looking even here. A good amount of damage on the middle here, but Malthael is, doing a good job pushing on this tower, and I have reason to believe that, given the matchup so far, he's going to win that down here. Cash waiting in the bush, possibly get a crank on this Greymane. No, Cash is just going to come up and they're going to clear this camp, and they're not going to get the camp themselves. So a camp advantage. I don't think these pumpkins are going to make it to the tower right now. So ETC bringing Dream Mabel down here to make sure these pumpkin heads die. Chromie staying mid. Stitches comes out up here on the flank, but nothing really doing there. A hook goes out, tries to get around the EDC, doesn't get around him, and that will be that. Meanwhile, you got 4 people down here while Chromie soaks mid. Both teams looking even on experience and even on lane pressure. Malthael starting not to do quite as well. So actually, no, I take that back. He's doing just fine. He's pushing in just his fur, but his mana is looking pretty low. Meanwhile, Chromie just sets up her time traps here. She's going to go ahead and grab this first section of this altar up here, and they're posturing whip. They're going to try and grab this. No, they're leaving. The things are up. They're done. I was surprised they were going to try and grab that camp, but no, they're going to come down here. It's going to be 4 versus 3, while Illidan is up here messing with this Malthael and making sure he doesn't get this off. They're going to make him kill him, and Chromie's going to come over here, and they're going to try and get a kill on this Malthael 2v1. Meanwhile, this is 4v3. They've got the bottom altar here. And they do, in fact, kill Malthael. Illidan getting enough damage, and Chromie getting a kill. I couldn't watch both at the same time, unfortunately. Greymane jumps out barely, has enough health here. So that's 4 shots in favor of Wasted Potential so far. Meanwhile, Stitches comes back up here to this midsection to grab some XP, hit some stuff with his candy canes, and heads up here top. Meanwhile, Boone, Malthael dead, Boone up here clearing all by himself, and a tiny XP advantage here for Wasted Potential. So they back out. Boone jumps here onto this Stitches. Greymane comes down to Illidan, has no fear as 3 members push onto this top, and they're going to go ahead and grab this top camp. Meanwhile, bottom camp being grabbed here by Wasted Potential. Oh, and I do see to be in Chop City at the moment, so okay, let's see if we can fix this. I think we should be good now. Okay, I think my FPS might be back up to par right now. Hopefully in 2 minutes somebody will say, yeah, you fixed it. But if not, what I did is I had to minimize my OBS window, so I don't know how many FPS I'm getting. Stitches, Science comes out on Stitches' face mount, backs everybody off. Murden is able to jump out, get the jump. Stitches gets a big pull onto Kasha. Can there be a fault? No, she gets out just fine. That avoidance really working out wonders for Cassia as Greymane able to jump on her, but she just sort of walks away. The Greymane Malthael damage being, I believe, the soul, not the soul, but very high source of damage for these two, along with the Stitches slams that are come out that will hurt her. But that's a lot of damage that Cash is able to simply literally avoid. Big Science goes on the Stitches. He has to back up, gets the big pull. Chromie damage goes on to Lucio. Illidan jumps in, tries to peel everybody off from getting a Stukov. Stukov does not escape the big Wraith strike onto, but there from Malthael. But the Malthael's stuck in the back. Malthael's going to try and get out. The Qs are not going to be enough. Murden, got really low, had to jump out. Comes second, and that's going to be a 1-for-1 over this bottom shrine. A huge stun comes out. Lucio gets caught out, gets pushed out of position by the face mill, and all for Waifu has to back off this altar. So now we have ETC channeling it, and that's going to be 4 more shots in favor of Waste Potential. They've got all for Waifu down to 28. Meanwhile, all for Waifu getting the experience back, make sure they can keep up in the experience game. They're not too far behind. They should be able to stay on even tiers here for the time being. Illidan coming up to clear as well. Malthael is now up top, and everybody's sort of just soaking in lane. This camp is open for Waste Potential. They grab it, and they are going to get these pumpkins and see if they can get any damage onto this front wall. People posturing up. The Chromie ult comes out onto the Stitches, who has to walk away. Is he going to be able to weather the storm? Dodges the slide, but that's going to force him back into their team, and Stitches goes down. Excellent 4-man gank here onto this huge fat A-bomb there. And Stitches. They're going to go ahead and get these pumpkins up here, get rid of the rest of these minions. They're going to go in here and destroy that tower. And that is the bottom front wall gone for the favor of Waste Potential. And they're going to get their 10s here. And Illidan goes down here in a counter gank up top. Greymane and Malthael getting their pumpkins in at the same time. So while I was reaching for the key to show the talents, I missed the camera switch, and it's my fault as an observer. Anyways, we're going to look at these 10 talents. Of course, we saw the floating sands from Chromie. We're going to see Mosh Pit again from EGC, the Hunt from Illidan, Flaying Swipe, and Ball Lightning from Cassius. So not willing to pull anybody out of position, just get a bunch of damage on here. And wow! If Malthael isn't in the wrong place, he uses his teleport out, but Fend is going to close the gap as Malthael picked off just a little too far forward trying to do a farm there. And we're going to look at the 10s here for Alpha Waifu. Curse Bullet, Gorge, Torment to Souls, Sound Barrier, and Avatar. So no real surprises there. A little surprised that there's no go for the throat, but bursting down the ETC can be very useful. Stitches caught in the silence here. Here's the Hunt onto the Stitches. And a whole bunch of damage comes out. ETC Mosh Pit comes out. Stitches walks into it, and he's getting bursted down along with Lucio, and an excellent mosh there from Zalib. Greymane gets forced out of position by a face melt, and that's 3 for nothing, and they're going to go ahead and snap kick, take this boss here up top. Murden sniffs it out, gets caught by a time trap, but he's not going to be able to stop 5 people from killing this boss, so Kraus steps back out. Stukov gets his quest vigorous re-uptake finished. And that's 4 more points here for Waste Potential, really running away with this game right now. They really only took 2 altar shots. They traded 1, and then they had the 1 from the beginning. But they're just going to go ahead and down here and play the rest of this map, and they're going to have an easy road to level 13 here. They're going to go ahead and grab this camp, get some more damage under this already very weakened fort. Malthael is going to have to come here. Now he's going to farm this a little bit more safely, now that they have an idea of where the rest of the team is. But we're going to, meantime, All for Waifu just going to send 4 people up here and just take this fort now that they realize the majority of the team is bottom and they can't get up here in time to clear this. So they're going to trade out forts, and this camp is up, so All for Waifu looking to threaten 3 core shots here by pushing in that tower. They're going to have to finish this up really quickly to get down here in time for these altars. These altars definitely in favor of Wasted Potential, but Illidan caught out. Can he get out? No, the hook misses. And Boone sneaks away, is able to back in time. Grayman's still up here finishing this camp. Grayman's going to be late to these altars. ETC looks like he's going to start this channeling bottom already while they try to poke out here. Chromie, infinite poke, which was one of the things that makes her so annoying in this map. Bottom captured, and here comes the Hunt in from Illidan. The Sound Barrier immediately comes out. The Grayman Curse Bullet whiffs, but here's the big hook onto Kasha. But Kasha walks out. The avoidance damage doing much. ETC in the back gets 2 in the mosh pit and zones out the entire rest of the team for Murden to get burst down. Murden escapes though, but in the meanwhile they turn their attention towards ETC, who has a Stitches, who has an ETC gorged inside him. Murden getting the rest of his third win and backs up instead of re-engaging. They get the rest of the tower, but the 3 tower shots up here go in on the side of wasted potential, but that's fine. That's going to be 8 shots for 3 in wasted potential. So they're going to go ahead and grab this camp here as it is up, and they're going to threaten 3 more pumpkin heads onto this core. They're going to have everybody up here to defend this push. Meanwhile, though, Illidan is able to take this fort back, and I really like the composition on the side of waste potential. That Illidan global is giving them, along with the Kasha, is giving them a lot of survivability and a much needed global here. A huge amount of chroma damage goes on in the backline. Geo focused, fired down, but able to get back out just in time. Excellent defense here on the side of Waste Potential, and they put so much damage between the Chromie and the Cash that they're able to push these off, and they step up just a little too far. This Chromie is doing absolute work, but a big gorge onto the ETC, and hopefully they can get the kill here on the ETC and make us 1-for-1, even though they were able to get all 3 pumpkins onto the thing. But the Chromie headshot kills the Greymane. Stitches survives the any damage from ETC after bringing him out of that. But they're going to go up 2-for-1, and they're going to get the 3 shots. Definitely the kind of trade that Waste Potential wants, and more damage. And in fact, yes, it looks like a minion has saved the life of them and of All for Waifu, and that is Hero Minion MVP. But this is game. If they, because Illidan's got this fort, if they can just get 2 altars, that is absolutely going to be game. Stitches is going to have to stay down here. He's going to have to get that himself, and they can make this easily a 5v4. A big hunt goes onto the Muradin. Meanwhile, Malthus stuck here out in between the whole team. He ults, but it's not going to be enough. The big silence comes out of the Greymane, and Greymane is stuck. He can't go anywhere. Lucio finally speeds him with the sound barrier, but it's only going to save himself and Muradin. And they got the 1 tower off, and they're willing to trade that team fight for not losing the game. So 2 towers come in here. Illidan goes back to get that, and they are only 4 shots away from winning this game. So Muradin really taking a whole lot of damage. He's probably going to be able to jump out in time if the face melt's done. The big slide stun goes on to Muradin. There's the jump. He finally does make it out, and there's 4 just trying to make something happen. And wow. All for Waifu is having real problems. They thought their composition was beefy enough to handle the Chromie damage and just the huge amount of damage coming at them from wasted potential, but it is not enough. They're just constantly looking low on health, while Stukov sort of keeps everybody tapped up. They're just not able to keep up. And I apologize, that was not 4 shots, it was 5 shots. So the big hunt goes on to the boss. Illidan caught in the thing, and that's going to be game. You forgot about Dre. And a celebratory mosh. And a hearty fuck you heart from Doyle. And that is going to be game. So, Wasted Potential gets an early lead, and they snowball it and walk away with it. And that is going to be 2-0 for Waste Potential here, and a big win for them. And we are going to see if we can't get the captain in here. Oh, a little type in there. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Okay, let me bring him in here. Alright, I think I fixed most of the stream problems. But we're going to go ahead and hop into the lobby here with Nathan, the captain of Wasted Potential, up 2-0. Excellent job by them. And we're going to go ahead and wait for him to get in here. So, that Cash Illidan pick really worked out for them. So, it looks like we're going to be joined by Hope. Hope, hello there. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
How do you feel about that match there?
It was pretty good, I think. So, We weren't exactly expecting the Illidan pick, to be quite honest, but we did make it work, I feel.
Yeah, and it gave you guys definitely a much needed global. They didn't have a ETC allowed ETC to go mosh pit and not play offlaner, and Illidan was able to sort of scurry around the map. So, um, I have to commend you for sure on the Kasha pick. That I think that was kind of the linchpin of how you guys were doing. Was that I assume was in response to the Gramian Malthael?
That was in response to the Greymane Mothrail. We already had a lot of poke with Chromie on this map, and we didn't exactly need Cassia's Q build since that's kind of the meta build.
Mm-hmm.
So we took Cassia for her strong teamfight presence, which charged strikes, and her blind, and that got a lot of value late game.
Yeah.
Especially when they dove Stukov and that one team fight bottom, and I just charged strikes through their entire team, and it was over.
Yeah, and Chromie was hitting headshot after headshot there in your backline. It's doing a very good job there, and yeah, really, I had thought that maybe Illidan God might be the star of the show there, but no, you and Chromie really just ripped their team apart. So well done there.
Thank you.
Going to Volskaya Foundry, that was a much more back and forth game. Can you explain to me like your team's sort of overall approach to Volskaya?
So we were having trouble early game, mid game too, and late game, especially ETC. He was just having a lot of trouble dealing with Tyrael and Diablo by himself. They were just displacing him, constantly moving him around. He died 8 times because of it, and we knew that ETC was probably going to die a lot in the team fights, especially because after he uses his Q, he's stuck in place.
Yeah.
So we took Deathmosh, and Deathmosh got a lot of value because the enemy team we noticed would group a lot. And because they were grouping a lot, I knew that we would get a lot of value with Leeming resets, Greymane, and an Alarak combo with the Deathmosh. Even if it's just one person, that's all that pick we need to get that Leeming reset.
Yeah, and that mosh pit, people were noticing all over that was really the game changer there. And I got to give a big shout out in that first game to Boone on that Alarak. Just really, when the team fight got down to it, he was able to sort of take advantages over the rest of his opponents. So well done by him.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay, any shout outs for Twitch?
Shout out to my boys. Shout out to the enemy team because they did well too. And shout out to Nate for his Chromie play.
All right, excellent. So thank you very much for coming on. You guys did an excellent job there, winning a domination, and good luck in the rest of your matches.
Thank you. All
right, bye. Okay. All right, that is going to be it for Waste Potential versus All for Waifu, but we've got another cast coming up right after this in 8 minutes. I'm going to turn the stream off and reset it. I'm going to check my internet settings. I'm going to restart my router, etc. Looks like net connection is the reason for the laggy stream, so I apologize for that. Looks like I've got some dips in bitrate there. We're going to see if we can't fix that, make sure I've got BitTorrent off or whatever is going on there. So I do apologize for that, but please follow me, check me out for it's going to be Onslaught versus, check my calendar, Onslaught versus Zul'jin Distillery, one of the funnier names I think of in NGS. So once again, Waste Potential going 2-0 over All for Waifu. I've been Ghost Dunk. Thank you very much for watching, and join me in the next cast.